This message comes from NPR sponsor Rosetta Stone, an expert in language learning for 30 years. Right now, NPR listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership to 25 different languages for 50% off. Learn more at rosettastone.com/NPR.
What can we help you with, Alexa?
So, my mother is a born and raised Texan. I was taught from a very young age that the proper pronunciation of a certain nut is pecan and not pecan. And this is important because the state nut of Texas is the pecan. And I recently moved in with some new roommates in New York, two of which are from Texas. And I assumed they would also understand the importance of the pronunciation of pecan, and one of them does. However, the other does not.
So your roommates, one says pecan, and the other roommate, both from Texas, the other roommate says pecan.
Yes.
Have you ever been corrected? Have you ever said pecan and somebody corrected you?
No, but I am quick to make my feelings known if someone says the other pronunciation.
It does almost, I'm just going to say this, Alexa, you almost sound like you might be a little bit pedantic when it comes to pecans. I mean, the fact that you're throwing out, it is the state nut.
I wasn't until I moved in with Texans.
Yeah.
Because my belief was that every Texan knew the correct pronunciation, and I could be forgiving about other people from other states where the state nut is not a pecan. But it's now come to my realization that some Texans are wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you do keep calling it the correct pronunciation. What is your question then?
I should roll it back. My question is, what is the correct pronunciation? And I will surrender if I am proven wrong.
I think, yeah, it sounds like your question is, right? This is How to Do Everything. I'm Mike.
And I'm Ian. On today's show, how to light up the dark winter days. But first, to Alexa's pecan question.
Now, when I make pecan pie, I use Martha Stewart's recipe.
It's the gold standard.
Martha, are you there?
Hi, Mike and Ian. You have Martha Stewart on the line.
Hello, Martha.
Hi.
Good morning.
Okay, Martha Stewart, how do you pronounce P-E-C-A-N?
Pecan.
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 Okay.
Not very Southern, because I have a lot of Southern friends, and they all say pecan.
Mm-hmm.
And mine's pecan. You know, pecan. It's not pecan. I don't say pecan.
If someone does say pecan, do you correct them, or do you just accept
Absolutely not. But my granddaughter does.
Oh, how does she correct them?
Pecan.
Pecan. Yeah, okay.
And she's 13. And and you have to look it up with her, and oh God, it's so annoying. People say tomato. You know, who knows?
Do people really say tomato?
Oh yes, I have lots of friends who say tomato. One of my aunts used to say tomato, but she's not around anymore.
Yeah, okay.
She probably died early because she said tomato.
Well, Martha, thank you so much for helping us out today. This has been great.
You're welcome.
Martha's new book is her 100th book. It's 100 favorite recipes, lessons, and stories from my kitchen.
You know, there may be an even higher authority than Martha Stewart to ask about this.
Honey.
Hello, Dr. Sullivan.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Where are we reaching you right now?
I'm at La Couderie Ojibwe Reservation in northern Wisconsin, about 1 hour south of Lake Superior.
Dr. Michael McGeezy Sullivan is an Ojibwe linguist at LCO Ojibwe University in Wisconsin.
So, Dr. Sullivan, we understand this word has its roots in the Ojibwe language. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the general sort of agreed upon assumption is that it derives from an Algonquian language, which is the bigger family to which Ojibwe belongs.
Okay. In that language, how do you pronounce this word?
Right on. I thought you'd never ask, so we say bagan.
Bagan.
Yeah, so we spell it in Ojibwe, we spell it with a B. As
Okay.
Bagan. Now, being that Europeans call it a pecan, I'd say would be the closest in the colloquial English that matches an indigenous pronunciation. Bagan, pecan.
So the kind of most correct would be Bagan, but if you were forced to accept an anglicized version of the word, pecan would be better than pecan.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, well, one thing, as a linguist, sometimes linguists are kind of like language police.
Yeah.
I'm not really one of them, language is beautiful in all of its variation, right? So if there's multiple pronunciations of this, like the tomato kind of debate, some people say, whatever. So I don't even really engage in being the correct. But if somebody wanted to be historically correct or cared, right, then Bagan would be the proper pronunciation. Pecan sounds really American to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. So maybe Alexa should know that she could tell her roommates that Dr. Sullivan is laughing at you when you say pecan.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. You sound really Anglo when you say pecan.
Okay.
Bagan is where we're going for. Right?
Yeah.
So as somebody who cares about this language, these languages, if you are faced with a pie with these nuts, are you like, oh, thank you for the Bagan pie? Or do you say pecan pie?
When we speak English, you mean?
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're hanging with Anglos.
Yeah, I would probably, if I was hanging with Anglos and it was in the English-speaking setting, pecan, I'd probably say pecan. I'd probably use the English pronunciation just to fit in. But I might launch into a sort of teachable moment, right?
Yeah.
If I'm eating my pecan pie with other Anglos, definite teachable moment.
Well, Dr. Sullivan, thank you so much for talking to us about this.
Yeah, sounds like a really, really cool, fun show, man. I think I might have to tune in, so keep up the good work.
Michael McGeezy Sullivan's book is Plums or Nuts, Ojibwe Stories of Anishinaabe Humor. I want to do something here, which is I have tried over the past several years to stop saying you guys, the phrase you guys.
Right.
Mike, I think you and I are both guilty of this.
Yeah, I will write that in an email, a group email, and then I will take it out. Then I have to scramble to come up with something else.
And sometimes I'll hear it come out of your mouth, which you can't take back. You've already hurt people.
You're right. You can't unhear that. And I apologize. To anyone I've said that to, I apologize.
So both of us would like to stop saying it. So we're going to establish a little accountability. We're going to do a you guys fast. And you people out there, we'd love for you to join. If you also want to stop saying you guys, send us an email. Let us know you're taking part. Keep us apprised of your progress, your mistakes, the times you hurt people just as Mike has.
Wait, how? So you people, that's the solution?
You're right. That doesn't sound great either. You, our fellow humans out there, if you would like to join us in this you guys fast, let us know.
This is a real story that I have a relative who's a pastor who was baptizing a kid, a baby, and he forgot the baby's name, and he just said, "Child of God." And that was his solution in the moment in front of everybody. That doesn't work. That doesn't quite work in an email.
Well, I think if any of us embarking on this fast, and let's say it's a 30-day fast, if you find yourself about to say you guys, just try you children of God and see where that gets you.
Hey, y'all. That works. Heena, that was what you did, right? That's what we talked about this, and that was a solution that you came up with.
Yeah, I went to a very PC high school, and we actually couldn't say guys. And so I started saying y'all, and then I went to college, and everyone thought I was from the South.
And where are you from?
The Chicago suburbs.
There you go.
Well, if you children of God have a question for us, just get it to us at howto@npr.org. npr.org.
No matter what your question is, no matter how big, no matter how small, we will do our best to find an expert to answer it. That email again, howto@npr.org.
This message comes from our sponsor, Grainger. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This message comes from NPR sponsor Rosetta Stone, an expert in language learning for 30 years. Right now, NPR listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership to 25 different languages for 50% off. Learn more at rosettastone.com/NPR. This message comes from Bluehost. Got great ideas but no idea how to build a website? Get Bluehost. Their AI builds your WordPress site in minutes, and their built-in tools optimize your growth. Don't wait. Visit Bluehost.com now.
The town of Viganella, Italy, sits in the shadow of the Alps, such that the town got no sunlight for 3 months out of the year for centuries.
In 2006, the mayor, Pierfranco Midali, was overseeing the rebuilding of the town square, and he came up with an idea. Pierfranco is on the line with us now, along with his daughter Fabiola, who's translating.
Okay, so he was working with a friend of him who is an architect for the square, for the rebuilding of the square, and they were also working on a sundial to be painted on the wall of the church. And while speaking about this, he told his friend, this sundial will be useless for 3 months in winter because there will be no sun. And his friend told him, are you joking? No, I'm not joking. So they decided to try to find a solution to solve the problem of the shades for 3 months in winter.
So they realized that the tops of the mountains around the town did get sunlight, and that might be their solution.
Okay, so they decided to build this giant mirror, 40 square meters, at the top of the mountain, opposite the village, to reflect the sun directly on the village. It's 1 kilometer far from the village on the top of the mountain, and it is able to light 750 square meters.
Wow.
Wow.
So the whole square and a bit more, maybe some houses too.
So during the winter months when there is no sun, the mirror creates sunlight in this
it's
otherwise
a fake
shade
sun.
square.
It's not like real sun because it doesn't warm up. It's
okay.
simply it's sun. It's light, non scalda.
No, è solo
Yeah. It doesn't warm up, but it lights. So we can see the sun on the square, which was something unbelievable because for the people who live in Viganella for the whole life, it was strange.
Yeah. And if you wanted to, could you stand out there and get a suntan?
We have no suntan.
Oh.
Do you want to show them? Vuoi fargli vedere come sei abbronzato? Yeah, he's a bit tanned. Only a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you remember what it felt like the first time the sun bounced off this mirror and lit up this place which had been dark? Describe the scene if you remember.
Spiegagli che per vincere lo scetticismo della gente.
He told us that even before the construction of the mirror, lots of people were skeptical about it. They didn't believe that it would be possible to build such an invention. So he carried on his shoulders a giant mirror, and he went to the top of the mountain, and he tried to show the people how it would be like to have the sun even in winter, because lots of people didn't believe him.
Wow.
Yeah, they thought he was crazy. In a kind of way that's true, because he's a bit crazy. Yeah.
I guess you'd have to be kind of crazy to think that putting a giant mirror on a mountain would work.
You must be crazy to come up with such an invention, with such an idea. I agree with you.
Well, that does it for this week's show. What'd you learn, Ian?
Well, I learned that you could use a mirror to light up an entire town.
It seems like such a simple solution, but an incredible solution at such a huge scale. Like, that's such a giant mirror.
I think that mirror also, up on top of the mountain, it's useful for any of the animals that need to see how they look. You maybe do a little preening. Do I have something in my teeth?
But could you imagine, though, if you're down there in the square and you're like, you know what, I'm tanning, I'm just going to get a quick tan, and then suddenly a shadow goes over it because a bear is like checking its teeth? You'd be like, hey!
Yeah, really.
I'm trying to get some sun!
Yeah, I guess like a bear could actually cause a solar eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it wanted to do its eyebrows.
How to Do Everything is produced by Heena Srivastava, with technical direction from Lorna White.
Our intern is Ed Brown. Ed, we're glad to hear the hiccup cure worked.
Stay strong, Ed.
Get us your questions at howto@npr.org. I'm Ian.
And I'm Mike.
Thanks.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Shopify, the global commerce platform that helps you sell and show up exactly the way you want to. Customize your online store to your style. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/NPR. This message comes from Linda Mood Bell. Linda Mood Bell's online instruction is available anytime, anywhere for students to catch up or get ahead in reading, comprehension, and math. Linda Mood Bell's online instruction is designed to help children feel more confident, prepared, and excited about learning and school, and is individualized for all types of students with challenges that affect learning, including dyslexia. Enroll now to receive 20% off the first week of online instruction. Learn more at lindamoodbell.com/NPR. This message comes from eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.